Good afternoon, everyone. Antarctica's actually grown since 2008. Gore wrong, Arctic ice grows by 40%. Oh wait, so does Western Greenland, the last bastion of excuse that the IPCC can use, fallen. Upcoming change in our weather, new records shattered literally. Average first date of measurable snow, usually 1/10 of an inch or so. Let's look at these totals. That red, 21 inches. The aqua, 3 feet. And since when did we have tornado risk in November? 100-year cold records return. And last week, blasting cold through the southeast U.S. Talking about 32 degrees down in Tennessee and Mississippi. And while you're watching the channel, please remember to subscribe to Adapt 2030 and click that bell so you can stay subscribed and get the latest updates. IPCC would have you believe Antarctica's melting, but in actuality it's been growing since 2008. Only the propaganda is going to convince you that it's still melting. And I highlighted in blue, I've not seen a good explanation of how CO2 increase can affect the temperature 1,000 years earlier. And I'll even fast forward to today's models where they were showing 4 degrees Celsius rise by 2100. Well, all these changes are happening now with our global weather system. Even the IPCC models make no sense. They're talking 100 years from now, these types of changes, yet these are occurring now. This is a grand solar minimum fingerprint of what's happening. And then here we go. Greenland got the name of Greenland because the Vikings, when they landed, were grazing herds in the grasslands on Greenland. Well, Arctic ice growing. Scientists admit models are wrong. Gore's movie a flop. Yet these settled scientists keep asking for money for more research, which makes no sense. We need to defund every last one of them. Looking at the sea ice extent, October 31st, 2017. See that orange line? That's the 30-year average of ice. And they're trying to tell you that it's lost. All the ice is melting. There's no more ice. This is a terrible situation. The polar bears are going to die. Use some common sense when you look at this chart. They're telling you it's melting to oblivion. And the IPCC's last bastion of hope to explain the melting on Western Greenland. Well, you know what? That just evaporated. So I don't know what they're going to tell you anymore because Western Greenland is now gaining ice more than anywhere else on the island. That comes from DMI as well. IPCC, you're out of excuses. Your time has passed. You need to be relegated to the dustbin of history for your lies. You have done such a disservice to the human race. We look at all-time record ice growth on Greenland, even going to break through last year's all-time record, yet they're still talking about CO2. Oh, please. And another bombogenesis. We saw the bombogenesis in 2014. Here we go again, GOES 16. That's the lightning mapper. The Great Lakes, we're looking for intensification of inland hurricanes, and here we go, another one. So let's talk about the upcoming change that could lead to new records. Well, that's a past tense now. It has led to new shattered snow and cold and ice records. Oh yes, I am talking about today, but let's go back last week. Houston shattering 107-year record. The old record 42 degrees. The new record's 39 degrees. And also several other places around in Texas shattered records too, but that didn't really make the news, did it? They'll talk about a warm front in California before they talk about a shattered cold record from over 100 years ago down in Texas. And it wasn't limited to Texas last week. It was down in Mississippi, at least a month ahead of schedule for these cold fronts rolling through. Tupelo, Mississippi, 34 degrees in Mississippi in October. Tennessee, low 30s. 28 degrees in Oxford, Mississippi. Old Miss down there, 28 degrees, impossible this early in the year. And it just kept continuing. Tennessee, Memphis, 43, Jackson, 32. And these are from last week. And then where in the world do you see a forecast for tornado activity coming into November and December from the Weather Channel? Something's definitely amiss. I always remember these types of tornadic activity coming in springtime, not winter. Here we go. Average date for first measurable snowfall. Let's talk about today's new records being broken. 1/10 of an inch or greater. Let's notice California. I really want you to pay attention to that California, Southern California area. And we get something looking like this. That red is 2 feet, 1.5 feet. They're talking about 1/10 of an inch. These charts are showing multiple feet. That teal color, 3 feet of snow. Anywhere in the red, a couple feet. That blue, looking at 1/2 foot. Okay, that's not an isolated pocket of snow on a mountain range as others would have you believe. So let's look at the rain and snow forecast coming through Monday. That'll take you through tomorrow and up until Monday, the next couple days. Now you can see the mountain ranges there, at least 2 feet. And somehow the media will just try to dismiss this. What about the record heat last week? Oh yeah, now we have record snows this week. November chill going to start. Well, that is going to be a major chill as it comes in. The rain, ice, and snow that are blanketing the entire West Coast, not only in the United States, but up in Canada. Let's talk about Canada for a moment. Anywhere that it's colored on this map is receiving ice, snow, sleet. Beyond the Maritimes of Canada, far over on the right there, I want to go out west here and take you down into areas that rarely receive snow, like Vancouver Island, which just received flurries downtown. That is unheard of. It barely gets snow in January and February. Just the location it is, the climate surrounded by the water, it rarely receives snow, even in the depths of winter. And it's receiving snow right now. Flurries coming in Vancouver in the first week of November. Now looking out until November 9th, you can see the cool downs coming, northern Canada. That's going to progress southward. We're talking about 12-degree below normal temperatures through this in the anomalies. And as we get through to the end of November, it kind of mellows off a little bit. It's still 4 degrees below normal temperature. But you can see that cold patch spreading. This goes right along with David Dilley's forecast that we're going to see increased ice cover and increased ferocity in blizzards, snowfall, wind, just because there's more ice. Next year, look for record ice increase in the Arctic. IPCC is dead in the water. Greenland, record ice growth. IPCC, bye-bye. Arctic, record ice growth. Early melt season record, stop. Bye-bye, IPCC. Your time is done. Your lies are over. It's time for us to deal with the truth. The grand solar minimum is here. We're going to start to need to think about how to mitigate this with our crops that are going to be lost. Thanks for watching. Hope you got something out of the video. Time's up.